Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have, I'll call it an unusual puzzle here. Not because of anything going on inside of it, but because it is a non-Fog of War Megan 033 puzzle. Now, it's not unusual for Megan 033 to make non-Fog of Wars, but the majority of the puzzles that I put on this channel from them are Fog of Wars. So it's always nice to step out into other avenues of puzzles from certain creators, even though they are known for some of the other types of puzzles. But that's what this one's going to be about. So that's why I wanted to jump on it. It looks like it's going to be a fun puzzle. So what do we got going on here? Well, it's called a square German ring that must only be referencing this here by Megan 033. And let's take a look at the rule sets and see what we have. We've only got two rules here, so we have to kind of deal with those. So we've got normal Sudoku apply. So every row, every column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we've got adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5. So here again is our German whisper line. These digits, whatever they are, must differ by 5. So whatever this is 5 different, this is 5 different, that, etc., down the line. And we have digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left corner. So we can look at any of our cages. This 15 cage, we've got 3 digits. They must add up to 15. The 19, the 6, the 16, the 7, the 17. So, you know, just whatever's going on here. There's not much to really determine right away, but we'll jump into the solving and see if we can figure it out. So that said, links in the description below. Let's get started on this one and see if we can see what's going on. So actually, I'm going to change this a little bit here. Anyway, that's just me being nitpicky. Anywho, so where are we going to start? We've got the 6s. So this is a 1, 2, 3. It's the only thing it can be. This is a 7. It's a 1, 2, 4. It's the only thing it can be. Now, I don't know if you picked up on any of the sarcasm in my intro, but this curious green German whisper has some interesting things occurring around it. And if you notice what this is, you know what's going on here. This is quite clearly going to be a Fistemafell ring. That's the reference for a square German ring. So what do we know about Fistemafell? And I'm not going to go into the proof of it, but just take my word for it that all these digits, and there are 16 of them, those exact digits are going to appear in these cells here. So whatever digits are in this yellow, the exact same digits are going to all be in the blue. That's what the Fistemafell theory is. So you could technically look at any Sudoku. If you were to figure out what these digits are, you would then know what has to go in these corners. So with that said, let's start to look and see what is actually going on with this puzzle. Because we have a juxtaposition between our German whisper and our Fistemafell ring. And because we know, what do we know of German whispers? That's the good thing to start. We know it's going to go high, low, high, low, high, low. So we're going to have some patterning similar to this, where these would all be high or all low, and the opposite value digits there would be the other side of the coin. So because this German whisper is set up along the Fistemafell ring, I think what we're going to know is that these digits must have 8 low digits and 8 high digits and no 5s, because that's the only way the German whisper can work, and it is on our Fistemafell. So we might want to actually organize them as such. Now, I don't know the exact groupings of highs or lows or anything like that yet, but this will be the pattern. If this is low, these will all be low. If this is high, these will all be high. Now, we already know we have 6 low digits. So we only have 2 left, no matter what the grouping of these are and what coloring is. We've used 6 lows up, so we have two lows remaining. Now, I guess it's technically possible that these could be the low digits. Oh, wait, no, it can't be possible, can it? Let's think about the 16s and 17s. We can never put 3 high digits in either of these two. Because if you did, there'd be 6, the bare minimum would be 6, 7, 8. We're at 21. So clearly we are well below that. So we have to put 1 low digit in each of these cages. And because we need only 2 more low digits, we can only put 1 low digit in in each of these. Therefore, every other digit that is not in these cages is going to be high. And I'm going to remove this because it's the coloring on that's going to be a problem if I keep it as the same coloring that the ones we know are high and lows. So we'll just put these here temporarily. Now, with all of that said, what can we determine about how these... Okay, well, we know there's a 4 and a 3. We also know there's 2 1s and 2 2s that are given on our Fistemafell ring. Now, the 4s are interesting because we know that we can't put a 4 in any position where it has 2 German Whisper lines looking at it. Or 2 cells on the German Whisper line looking at it. Because if we put a 4 here, these both 9s, that clearly can't work. So none of these can be 4. Okay. If we know none of these are 4s, one of these is a 4. If one of these is a 4, these are the low digits because we can't do it any other way. So we'll put these as low and we'll put these as high. Now we can change those colors so that it all works together. So again, we know one of these is 4. It's not this one because we already have a 4 down here. Oh, actually, okay, we know more than that just by obviousness. We know these are both low digits. We already have 3 low digits here, so this one has to be the remainder. We know 3 digits. This has to be remainder. If this is a 4, these are both 9s. If this is a 3, these are an 8 or 9. Now that 9 is interesting because it points into all these, which means this is a 9. And we might just want to put in our digits and see what they can be. We know there are no 4s left over on here anymore because we can't put them. This one rules out the other corners, and we said we never could put them in here. So we have that. Again, we know there's no 5s because it's a German Whisper. What else can we... Oh, the 3s. These can't be 3s by Sudoku. So we know we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2 going on here. So the next question then would be, can we correlate what we know goes into these? Because we've got a 1, 2, 3 up here that we know have to be on here. Those are these 3. We can just say they are. It doesn't really matter which one lines up with which. We've got a 1, 2, 4, so this is 1, 2, and 4. So the remaining low digits that go into these are are from either 1, 2, or 3. Now, if that is the case, what does that do for us, if anything? Or do we need to continue just to put our digits in? Okay, none of these can be 6s, so it helps to put in digits because they're all in positions. The leftover positions are all in spots where they have 2 digits on each side of them. These can't be 9s by Sudoku. Now that tells us that our high digits are from 7, 8, and 9. And those have to go into all of, or not all of those, but we need 2 of them here, 2 of them here, and these guys. So these are all 7s, 8s, and 9s. And what more do we know? We just said this, the the 2 digits, there has to be 2 high digits to go in the 16. And we've just said there are no 6 on the FISTMFL. If that's the case, we're left with 7s, 8s, and 9s. Now we can't ever put a 9 in here then, because if it did, it would have to go with the 7 as a bare minimum. That's 16 already. So this just is an 8-7 pair, which is 15, and it goes with the 1. Therefore, this is a 9, because you just removed 7 and 8 from the possibilities. We've also created X-wings on 1s, so this is a 1. Forces 2 and 1, and 2 and 1. This is not a 1. Okay, this 2 doesn't quite do anything. We don't have high digits. This 3 would make a difference with this 7-8 grouping if we could figure out what it is. But another interesting thing, and I don't know if it necessarily helps us, but we have this grouping of 5s in these corner areas, kind of pointing all at each other. So if we were to figure out one of these being a 5, it would kind of unravel the rest of them, or at least into a set of 2 possible options. What else do we have? The 10 doesn't seem like we know there's no 1 now. So okay, that actually does help us. If we can't put a 1, the 10 clue doesn't have a 1, obviously. So the bare minimum would be 2, 3, 4, which is 9. We only have 1 more digit left to work with, so we have to use that buffer zone. So this is a 2, 3, 5. That's the case. These are not 5. And the 2, the 2, 3 is looking here. This is not 2, this is. You get a 1, 4 here, so this is not a 1. And is there anything else in this row? 6, 7s, and 8s, but none of that. Well, no, this is a 6, because this is a 1, 7, 8 over here. The only 3 digits left that we don't know are 6, 7, and 8. This is a 7 and 8. This can't be a 7 or 8, so this is 6, which means this is a 7 or an 8. So we have a 7, 8, 9 triple actually going on, which we know one of these 2 is a 9, and actually this 9 sees this one. So this is 9. Good. What more? We've got a couple of 9s now looking inward. Oh, that actually works. These 3 9s now. Rule out all of these. We can't put a 9 in a 9 cage, so this is a 9. That's going to give us an 8 and a 7, not an 8. Okay, that 7, we just said this previously. I was thinking about the other way around, but this can't be a 7 anymore, so it can't be a 3 anymore, so it is a 2. This is not a 2. Now, with the 9 and the 7, does that do anything with this 19 clue? Because the most we can ever put in them now is 8, 6, and 5, which is 19. Oh, so this is a 5, 6, 8. Just a given 5, 6, 8. It's the only way the 19 can work. So this is not 8. Okay. These 4 digits are what? 1, 3, and 4. This is not 1. If that's a 1, 3, 4, this is 2. These are not. Anything else looking at anything? Not necessarily. We know one of these is a 2, but that's not. Oh, that one's not because of Sudoku, but anywho. Okay. This 9 sees this. This is 7. Therefore, we can say what these 3 digits are. 4, 6, and 9. So this is not 9. Or no, that doesn't seem to have anything looking at it in there. Can we go back to our FISTMFL and see what can be put into these digits? Because we know we have... The only thing we don't know is here, really, and this guy, I guess. So, we have 3 9s on the FISTMFL ring, and we cannot have another one. because we get to 7 and 8 as leftovers. We only have 2 9s shown, so there has to be a 9 up in here somewhere. And it can't be these two, so one of these is a 9. Let's just do inventory. So 9, 9, 9. We know one of those is 9. We'll get back to that. The 1, 2, and 3 for this guy. The 1, 2, and 4 for this guy. There's a 1 and a 7 and an 8 down here. So what do we know? We know that this 7 or 8 rules out one of these guys. Or it could just be this 7. But what we do know is, well, I guess we can't necessarily use that. What about this 2? There must be a 2 in here, by what that says, because we have 1, 2, we only have 2 2s, but we have 3 2s on our ring. So there must be a 2 in here, and that one says none of this is 2. Therefore, this is 9. And we'll start to change our coloring here in a second. If this is a 2 and we can't use a 9 now, we have to do 8, 7, which is 15, and gets to 7. So this is an 8, 7 pair. Now let's change our color. And I'm not going to do all of the coloring in this. I'm just going to do the Fistimefel ring. Okay, so we've got our 7, 8 pair. What are these two digits? 5 and 6. Okay, 6 down here, actually. So this is 5. This is 6. Now that we have this 5, that's going to percolate through. So one of these is a 5, which means these are not. This is the only 5 left now. Therefore, this is not. So one of these is a 5 and one of these is a 5. That's what we're left with. Good. And what are these two digits? Because we need to have a 4 and a 7. We have a 4 here. Okay, 7, 4. We get a 7, 8 left over. We'll have a 7. Okay. Wait, that 7 gives us the 8. I almost thought about the wrong way. And this is just a given 3. Okay. Now we're going to know what some of these other digits are, so we can start putting those in. This is 5, 4. This is 6, 9, and we have a 9 here, so let's put that in, 6 and 9. These two have to be from 5 and 3. Put those in, and then these have to be 6 and 8. Okay. Not necessarily getting us any more info just yet, but we should be able to work from here. We've got a lot of digits, so we can probably do some Sudoku. Or maybe not. No, it's not there yet. 3s are almost useful. 4s, same. 5s, no. 6s aren't great. We know one of these is a 6, but eh. 7s. Again, not great. Yeah, I was trying to see how maybe the 7 would work in this 8, 9, 10 center here, but I don't. 8s. Oh, we actually can use 8s. Interesting. So we have 2 8s, so that rules out these from 8. We can't put an 8 in an 8 cage. And we can't put an 8 in this cage because it would be an 8, 1 pair. So this is actually just 8. And that 8 actually gives us a 7. Now let's make sure all of the German whispers work, so we're good there. These can't be 9s by Sudoku, so this is good. And we now can probably figure out what this digit is, because we have almost everything. So let's do an inventory one more time. We've got the 9s, we've got the 1, 2, 3, we've got this 9, we've got a 1, 7, 8, we've got a 2, 1, 4, we've got a 2, 9, 7, 8. So we're left with a 7. So this is 7. This is 8. Therefore, this is 7. Good. All right. Now that's going to give us the 8 and the 7. And from here, our next trick will be probably thinking about what these guys are and what the cages can do for us. Let's just do a quick scan to make sure that's accurate. We know there's a 7 in this 15 cage because of this guy. Now, if we know there's a 7 in it, we do have 6s and 5s still left over, so we can't quite get too in depth there. What about you? We can't use 9 or 7. If we were to say there was no 8, would that break things? Because we'd be at 6, 5, and 4. Yeah, that doesn't get there. So there has to be an 8 in here. We could also just look at Sudoku and say these are not 8s. And we also have these 8s. So this is an 8. Stop with that, please, Mr. Mouse. So we have an 8 on our 17. And we need to get 9 more. Don't know that we can necessarily determine that. I mean, obviously it can't be 8, 1, or 7, 2, but we could still have 6, 3, or 5. No, we can't have 6, 3. So this is a 5, 4. That's all that is. And therefore, these are 3 and 5 and 1 and 4. That forces these guys to be 1, 3, and 6, it appears to be. This is not 1. Okay, so that did work out for us. What more? I guess we're going to have to start. Oh no, we can go back up to here and 8s again. We might have all of our 8s done. We don't. We have an X-wing left over. Close enough, right? All of the 9s are done. What about 7s? This can't be a 7. The same reason why we wrote the 8 out here, because it would be a 7, 2. Therefore, this is 7. Now, if this is 7, this is not, and this is, and that should be the end of our 7s. It is. Okay. Now we know we have the 7 on here. These need to be 8 more. We can't do 7, 1, or 6, 2, so we must do 3, 5. That's going to break the 4, 5 here as well. And the 1, and really this mouse is annoying me. 1, 3. That's going to give us 8 and 1 and 6 and 8. And it's going to tell us what these digits are. 2, 4, and 6. This is not 2. Okay. I think it's time we started digging further into this, because the 7 says this is a 3. That gives us 5 and 3 and 4 and 5. What else do we have left over? What about the 8 and the 9? Is there anything in these that is a given? The 9 can't be 8, 1, 7, 2, or 6, 3. So this is a 5, 4. That's a 5, 4. This has to be a 6, 2, which means this is, yeah, it can't be 7, 1. And it can't be 5, 3, so it is a 2, 6. This is 1. And that 4, 5, of course, is going to bump into these guys and tell us some further information. Now, the 2, 6 also says this is 1 and 6, and 4 and 2. And we have a 2 right here that's going to just tell us what's what. So you're not 2, you are 2. D2. 3, 4, 5, no. Looking at Sudoku, yeah, this is not 3. Okay, that 3 there gives us 5 and 3, which should give us almost everything we need, I would think. Yeah, it's going to. 6 and 4. This is 5 and 6. This is 1 and 3. There we go. So you solved the puzzle. Lots of solves on this one. Like I said, it wasn't super difficult. It wasn't supposed to be. It's been out for a little while too. So, but that was let me last gasp here. Do that just because it's probably annoying some of you, and it annoyed me as well. So, excellent puzzle again. Mega Note 3.3 puzzles are always very good. It's a nicety to be able to step away from the fog of wars and do some other ones. This one clearly had intent by the way it was all shaped out here. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.